I never imagined my peaceful countryside home would turn into a nightmare. For months, strange things kept happening: broken fences, missing tools, and wilted flowers that had bloomed for years. At first I blamed the weather, until I saw her. My neighbor, Mrs. Collins, sneaking through my garden one night with something in her hand. My heart pounded as I watched from the window, too stunned to move. Why would she do this? What did she have against me? That moment changed everything, because what I discovered next about her secret left me questioning who I could really trust. Mrs. Collins had always seemed polite, quiet, with that warm smile every morning over the hedge. We'd exchanged small talk for years, never more than a few kind words. But lately she'd grown distant, avoiding eye contact and shutting her curtains whenever I stepped outside. I tried to ignore it, thinking she was just lonely or upset about something personal. Still, the strange events around my property only grew worse. Fresh paint scratched off the gate, my mailbox crushed, and someone had poured something oily near the garden fence. I couldn't help but wonder, was this just spite or something much darker? The next morning I decided to set up a small camera near the garden fence, hidden behind the roses. I needed proof before confronting anyone. That night I barely slept, listening for every creak and rustle outside. When I checked the footage the next day, my hands trembled. There she was again, Mrs. Collins, in her nightgown, scattering something along the soil. But what caught my attention wasn't just her actions, it was the look on her face. Fear. Desperation. As if she wasn't trying to destroy my garden but protect herself from something, or someone, lurking even closer than I realized. That night, the wind howled through the trees, and the air felt heavier than usual. I stood by the window, watching the garden, when I saw movement again, this time not from Mrs. Collins, but from behind her shed. A shadow slipped across the yard, tall and fast. My heart raced as I grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside, the beam trembling in my hand. The ground felt soft under my feet, freshly disturbed. Then I saw footprints, large ones, leading from my fence straight toward her house. Suddenly, I heard a faint whisper, my name carried through the wind, followed by silence. I followed the footprints cautiously, the flashlight flickering as I approached Mrs. Collins's back door. It was slightly open, creaking in the wind. I called her name, but there was no reply, just the faint sound of dripping water inside. My pulse pounded as I stepped into the kitchen, where muddy prints crossed the floor. Then I noticed something strange, my garden tools, lying neatly on her counter, still damp with soil from my yard. My breath caught when I saw a note beside them, written in shaky handwriting. Asterisk, I tried to stop him, but he's not after me anymore. He's after you. Asterisk, I froze, the note trembling in my hand as the lights suddenly flickered. A floorboard creaked behind me and I turned slowly, my breath catching in my throat. Standing in the doorway was Mrs. Collins, pale, trembling, eyes wide with terror. He's here, she whispered. Before I could speak, the back door slammed open, the wind howling through the house. My flashlight swung toward the garden, where a dark figure stood by the fence. Then, just as I blinked, it vanished, leaving only the gate swinging in the cold night air and Mrs. Collins's voice echoing, "It's not over. He always comes back." The next morning, the police searched both properties but found no sign of anyone else. The footprints had faded overnight, and the garden looked untouched, as if nothing had happened. Mrs. Collins moved away a week later, leaving her house empty and quiet. I repaired the fence, planted new flowers, and tried to move on, though I never forgot her trembling voice. Some nights, when the wind passes through the trees, I still hear it faintly, her warning. Maybe it was fear, maybe something more. But one thing's certain since that night, I've never left my window unguarded after dark.